So number 4, modify the chaos program so that it prints out 20 values instead of 10. Okay, so seems ridiculously easy. You just find the 10 and then replace it to 20. But you also want to think about it. Like, does that make sense? Because there will be questions where the obvious, it's not the obvious. It's not like your first guess. Even if you didn't know, we could guess there. Find the 10 and change it to 20. So does this make sense? Yeah. For I in range 20, so it's going to be 0 to 19, which happened, which is not 20 occurrences, because 0, which includes 0 and 19, that's 20 occurrences. So repeat that 20 times. Yes. And then number 5, modify the chaos program so that the number of values to print is determined by the user. You'll have to add a line to the top of the program to get another value from the user. Okay. Then you need to change the loop to use n instead of a big number. Okay. So some of you could have figured this out before being told, but John Zelle, PhD, Professor Zelle, he includes this for us. So let's add that line on the top of the, so is that going to be above the function? Well, we could put it here. We could put it here. No, we couldn't put it here, right? Because remember, if we put it here, right? If we put it there, it's going to say that. Then you're going to answer it. Then it's going to say this program has a stochastic function. Then it's going to say enter number. So what I think we should do is we should put it in the here, right in the function definition. So, and he gave it to us exactly. So eval input. How many numbers should I print? Numbers should I print? With a space, so that means the cursor is going to end up right here like a space out, which gives it a little bit more readability. Then we need to change the loop. Yes, and some of you guys, probably a lot of you guys, would have figured this out beforehand, but he helps us out. So then, yeah, instead of the number of numbers, you're going to print for I in range, instead of 20, now we're going to put n. So because it's still the number, even though it's 0 through n, is this going to be n minus 1? So it's going to be 0, because n is, so let's say n is 20. And a lot of times you want to write this stuff down, like literally write it out longhand. So if n is 20, then how many numbers do we want to print out? We want the n to be 19. We want this here to be 19. So this is actually going to be n minus 1. So if it says, if the user types in 20, how many numbers should I print? Well, it says 20. The user says 20. And we want this to be 19 because it's going to be 0 through 19. Excuse me. It's going to be 0 through 9, which is 10. So it's going to be 10. This is going to be n. Okay, I didn't mean to confuse you guys, or confuse myself. But some of you aren't confused. The n minus 1 shows up in different languages. But I remember that when you put in for I in range 10, it prints 10 times, right? So we're going to print 10 times. So it's going to be n. Also, another piece of evidence. I always look for evidence. I definitely don't purport to be a know-it-all. The book helps us out a little bit. It says, then you will need to change the loop to use n instead of a specific number. So Professor Zelle, like, literally gives the student the answer. He says, look, use n. He doesn't say, otherwise he would have said use n minus 1. So I always want to use resources, look for the evidence, look around. So I was wrong. It's not n minus 1. It's just going to be n. So for I in range n, because if I was in range 10 at the beginning, we saw 10 prints, right? In each, every time we called this function main, we saw 10 runs. So then now we're just going to use n. So there's multiple pieces of evidence to show us that we're just going to use n. Okay, cool. All right, let's save that. And then we're going to go to the shell again. Okay, so now let's let's go. Oh, we're gonna go here. No. No. There we go. Okay. So this is still the old one. So we're gonna go to the shell. Yeah, there it is. Sorry about that. All right, so we're gonna go to File. I'm not gonna go to Recent Files. We're gonna go to Open. So let's make sure we know where we saved it. So let's go to Save As. Let's make sure we know exactly where we saved it. Oh, it's the desktop. Let's go back to Python. Let's save it to Python. We're gonna replace it now. So it overwrites. For some of this stuff, it might be sort of review. I'm imagining that some of you guys are relatively new to programming, so forgive me if some of this stuff is like super remedial. All right, so let's go to, excuse me. All right, now we're gonna save it. Now we're gonna go, oh, that's not where we're going. Here, yes. So now we're gonna go to File, Open. Now we go to Python, Chaos. There it is. Okay, so here's our new one. A lot of comments. This is just where I put it. A lot of you guys might think this is just straight blasphemy to put this stuff in my comments. It should probably be in a Word doc, and then turned in, or PDF, or online submission. But I just put it in the comments because that's what we're using here. But it does definitely clutter up the program. At least in this shot. So okay, so did we get everything right? Yeah, we how many numbers should I print? Okay, and then that's a float, and then that's an N. Okay, cool. 2.0. Okay, cool. And then make sure to double check. Are we following directions? Is it going to be a 2.0? Yep. Well, it says modify the chaos program currently as it is. Well, the chaos program now has 2.0 because it didn't tell us to change it back. All right, now we're going to run it. Run module. Okay, how many numbers should I print? All right, let's print out 20. Let's see if we did it right. Right? The other route you could go is just say, all right, let me just try it and see how it looks and see, But I highly recommend writing stuff down, especially early on, in your computer science career or your computer science avocation. Okay, so 0 and 1. Let's do 0.98. And there we go. And we're off. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, cool. We got it right. Printed out 20. And this is interesting because we didn't get to 0.5. We didn't get to 0.5. This is very interesting. Extremely interesting. So the 0.98, really close to 1, but we actually stopped here. So we never made it to 0.5. Interesting. So, will we revise this previous question? I probably will. You could say, or very close to it, right? Because now that we've tried more numbers, so yeah, when we're doing homework, doing this stuff, filling it out, like sometimes we think we got the right answer, and then like later on we realize and this happens in every class, right? You do something and then you run it again, and you're like, oh, this didn't even hit 0.5. So you have to keep that rolling. So let's fix this. Or very close to it. And then make sure that it makes sense. Because remember, we're going to do all this first, then we turn it in. Right? We're not just going to do one, turn in, do another one, turn in, do another one. We're going to do all of them and then turn it in. And to get to 0.5 or close, or very close to it. And keep on repeating. Or very close to it. As the exact output. That's the other thing you want to mention too, is the exact output. And if you don't use a lot of capitals, then maybe 1 doesn't look like an eyesore. This isn't a text, right? You don't want to use 100, or an email to your friends or whatever, like 20 exclamation points. But yeah, like this is exactly right. It's going to be 0.5 or very close to it being repeated as the exact output. So that's what we said. Look, this is chaos, and this starts at 0.319, which is right around 0.32, and then it gets closer, 0.43, 0.49, 0.499, 0.49999, and then 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Here, it just keeps, it just stops. I mean, let's try this again. I mean, I don't know. I think this is fine. So if this was me and I was doing this, this is exactly what I would do. So thank you very much.